The process of egg freezing has helped women stop the biological clock, no doubt about it. But a new study shows many of them wish they could turn back the clock. Almost half the women regretted their decision to freeze their eggs in this study out of the University of California, San Francisco's egg freezing clinic. They surveyed thousands of clients between 2012 and 2016. Interviews took place on average 2 years after the freezing. 89% of the women said they thought they'd be glad they froze their eggs, even if they never used them to conceive a child. But it turned out a lot less, where 49% of the women didn't fully approve of their decision. So half looked back in time and said, you know what, maybe I wouldn't have done this.
Are you surprised by this?
I am, and honestly, the individuals who collected the surveys, according to the information we have thus far, they were surprised as well. And they said it had to do with the amount of emotional support, maybe the amount of information that they got before doing the procedure, and also it depended upon how many eggs were retrieved. So individuals who had a higher number of eggs retrieved had a higher level of satisfaction compared to those who had a lower level of eggs retrieved. And we know it's really expensive. It's like $10,000 to $12,000 per cycle. It can even be more. $800 a year for egg storage, around that amount. So
that adds up.
That's a lot of pressure too. I can't imagine. I mean, if you're a woman and you have your eggs frozen and it's $800 a year to store them.
Yeah.
What a difficult decision too. When do you get to a point where you say, you know what, destroy these eggs? That's a tough emotional place to be, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, I can imagine so, absolutely.
And I mean, is that part of maybe why these women not regretted it, but maybe they wish they'd had more information? Because wasn't that another part of it? Some women felt like they didn't have all the information when they went into it.
Right, but I think this is, it's eye-opening, and I think we have to have a bigger conversation around this because it is becoming more mainstream, more people are doing it. So we really need to take a look at what will make sure, or what will increase the probability that women will be happy with their decision in the future.
Well, this has always been one of my problems. The costs are prohibitive for so many women, and I do worry that this has become an industry driven a lot by the mighty dollar. Because I have to ask the question, how can it cost I understand the retrieval process, but how does it cost $800 a year to keep something in a freezer? I'm asking, I'm not blaming anyone, but I have to ask that question because that's prohibitive for so many women. I love the technology. I'm so glad that women have choices and can really take control. But how does it really cost that much? I don't know. This could be, that could actually be very cheap compared to what the administrative costs are. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying that most people aren't going to be able to just fork over almost $1,000 a year to keep something in a freezer. And I'm not trying to make light of it, but until there's downward cost pressure, I can see women having regrets. That's just my thought.
I agree with you. I would love to see the technology be available for more women, and I would love for cost not to be a contributing factor when women are saying, should I do this or should I not do this? But we really do need to get more information because the fact that about half of these women regret freezing their eggs, and these were women who did it electively. They didn't do it because of cancer or anything like that. They just electively wanted to freeze their eggs. So the fact that they regret it a couple of years later tells us that we need to look
It highlights
deeper.
something in medicine I think we all know to be true. When you go into a decision completely transparent, you know everything, you're going to feel better about that decision. As in any decision in life, anything you're going to do, in the case of medicine, know exactly what you're getting into before you make the decision so you don't have regrets later.